Hi there. What is the first step to metaphysical healing? To know God, to know the power of God, to know the allness, the love, the goodness of God. Because when we know that and we trust that and we know that the Christ is that power of God, the truth is the antidote to any lie, error, false belief, suggestion, sickness, separation, like all the problems, that the Christ is the answer to all of that, that the Christ, the truth, antidotes all of that. If we know that, then we can rely on it. I was given this beautiful glass nail file by a dear friend of mine. And when I first started using it, because I was used to using kind of a metal one or a, paper one, I was used to using it, kind of force. I don't know. It was harder. So I had to use a lot more force. With this glass one, it's like it's actually better when I use a very light touch with it because the power of the glass file is intact. It's there. And I don't need to muscle it. It actually works better when I let the file do the work. It's the same with God. Like, let God be God. We don't need to struggle so much in trying to scramble and find solutions. If you need a solution, ask God. Ask and ye shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. It's like these are promises. We get to rely on them. We get to turn to God. It's like, which magnifying glass are you picking up? Like, what are you pointing your magnifying glass at? Because whatever you point your magnifying glass at, that's going to get bigger, right? It's going to get bigger. Our perspective of it is going to be enormous. If we keep looking at the problem, guess what keeps getting bigger? If we look to God, guess what keeps getting bigger? God starts revealing, we start to see more, we start to feel the effect of that, the divine principle and rule of God's presence, of God's allness becomes apparent in our life. And we see healing. Like that's the basis of metaphysical healing, that God good is the only power, and that anything that tries to oppose that, which it can't really, anything that tries to oppose that to the material senses, it looks like that's true. Anything that tries to oppose it doesn't stand a chance when we know that God is the only power. So our first step is to know God. And when we know God so completely, then we'll have the confidence. Then we'll feel, there's this fabulous quote. This is a quote from Mary Baker Eddy, and it's in her book, Miscellaneous Writings. She has a whole collection of writings in a book called Prose Works. One of the books in there is Miscellaneous Writings, where she talks about, like, once we understand God sufficiently to have like faith, to exclude faith in any other means or remedy other than the Christ or the truth, which antidotes error. She said, then what will follow is the absorption of all action, motive, and mind into the rules and divine principle of metaphysical healing. So all action, motive, and mind absorbed into the rules and divine principle of metaphysical healing. I mean, imagine that. That's kind of cool. Anyway, lots of love. This is me sharing what I've been thinking about and what I've been praying about and kind of going along. And I just kind of invite you to go on this walk with me. And, if there's anything that ever comes out of my mouth that you don't agree with, take it to God. Like whatever aligns with you in your conversation with God, go with that. Because I'm doing the best I can. And there may be times when I say things that I'm still kind of working things through. I have no idea. But I'm just, in all humility, I would say, I love this. I love the science. I love Christian science, scientific Christianity so much. It is my life. And this is kind of my little path, my little walk on this. And I invite you along with me. But I will say, I'm learning just like you guys are. So let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what your journey is and what you're thinking about. And if there's any topic that you would like to, hear about or discover together, we can kind of be on this path together. So lots of love. And we were talking about a lot about this in Morning Metaphys this morning. So if you haven't tried it, I always encourage you, go to getfreesupport.com and just sign up for a free week and see if it aligns with you. Because that daily practice to me, is really the most important thing that we can do for ourselves to kind of help support our life to progress, is be in a daily spiritual practice. And Morning Metaphys will definitely support you in that. It'll get you to show up. It's like show up. Even if you don't feel like it, show up. Okay, go to getfreesupport.com and just sign up if you haven't already.